this is what it's like filming videos in the summer. My hair is just super curly and poofy, and it's gonna progress probably throughout the video. And my AC is on, and I don't want to turn it off because it's really hot out. So I'm sorry if it sounds a little weird. Hey guys, it's Alyssa. Okay, I know, Bendy and the Ink Machine is over. The game is out. It's been out for a while. We're done. And there's a new game in the Bendy series coming out later this year. So why are we still talking about it? I was just thinking about one element of Bendy and the Ink Machine that a lot of theorists online maybe have kind of looked at, but not in full. And I just thought, hey, why don't I make a full video analysis of it and dive more into it, and it's the music in the series. Yes, graphics and story and characters and little things like that are all over the place, like secrets and Easter eggs, are all analyzed, and they are really helpful to figuring out Bendy and the Ink Machine and possibly what's going to happen in Bendy and the Dark Revival, which is the next game. But the music hasn't really been dived into. And I'm not just talking about like the ambiance or what it adds to the horror scene. I'm talking about the titles and the times this music is playing and how it can help us figure out what else is going on in this game. And will get us thinking about what we need to look for in Bendy and the Dark Revival, like what kind of music will be in that game. So this video and the next couple of videos are going to literally go through each chapter of Bendy and the Ink Machine and each song that's in it. There are a lot of songs, and a lot of them are very short, or they only play at specific times and then they're cut off, but they are important and they do have titles. And most of them were created by co-creator theMeatly. Hi. The video that you're watching right now will go into chapter 1 and chapter 2. I was going to do one just individual videos for each chapter, but then when I was looking at chapter 2, there was only 3 songs. And that's the music department chapter, so what? A couple of little disclaimers. I'm not going to be talking about fan songs. Anything that was not written for the game and was just inspired by the game and then put into the game as an Easter egg for those radios, I'm not going to go into. Also, I'm going to go into the different kind of instruments and the eerie feelings that a lot of the songs give off, and that's probably going to be like the same exact sort of instruments and feelings that you get for every song, because a lot of the music is sort of the same in a sense, using the same tone, the same mood. I also put notes on my laptop that's on sleep mode right now, but if you see me look down, that's why. I'm not scripting this in total. I just wrote down notes. Yeah, I did research. That means I listened to every song and then I played the game, and I'm gonna share clips so that you can remember what they are. Let's just get started with chapter 1, moving pictures. So chapter 1 is really important when it comes to music or things that we see in chapter 1, because chapter 1 is the start. It's where everything, not just the game, but everything, the ideas, the concepts for Bendy came. This is the game that was out 2.5 years ago, if you've been here since the beginning, that was just on Game Jolt for free. So a lot of things that are in this final version of chapter 1 have been there for a while. Some things have been taken out or replaced. I'm not going to be talking about anything that's been replaced. Let's just start with the very first song, which is Sketches. This is the song that you hear when you first start up the game, and it plays during the main menu screen and continues playing all the way through the letter that you read from Joey Drew, and then the game starts with the first chapter. It's a very creepy, puts you on edge kind of song. It's super eerie. There's a lot of violins. It kind of gives off this uneasy feeling. The title is also called Sketches, and sketching or making sketches is usually what an artist does before they start completing the entire scene or the character or anything in the background. They sketch it out. So it's kind of like setting you up for how the rest of the game is going to feel, and that's why I think they called it Sketches. A lot of my analysis may be a little bit of a stretch, but That's what I was thinking when I was listening to it. The next song that we hear in chapter 1 is called Hellfire Follies, and this is the first song that you kind of hear in the game when you walk over to the projector that's just playing in that workroom in the first room. There's a clarinet, there's a tuba, there's some piano, there's some snare drums, and it's very catchy. It's super catchy. But the weird thing is that this music is coming from a speaker, from a projector that's not playing anything. And when you do turn off the projector, the song stops. So it is coming from the projector. So the projector should be showing a cartoon perhaps, and we just can't see it. And this song, Hellfire Follies, it must be a background music. I don't know why it's called Hellfire Follies. Maybe it was a cartoon, a Bendy cartoon with the same title, or maybe it's just the name of the background music for a certain Bendy cartoon. I don't know, but I really couldn't figure that out. So if you have any ideas of why it's called Hellfire Follies, please let me know. The next song we hear in chapter 1 is Ode to Bendy, which is what you hear in that locked room with the light on as you turn the corner going towards the ink machine. There's like an upbeat drum, clarinet, and a fiddle plucking. I don't know instruments. Now, I think it might be Sammy in there because it's a song called Ode to Bendy, and I don't think this song was made like, you know, like for the cartoons or anything, and it's just playing. Like, I feel like Sammy made this song for Bendy, whether that be the Bendy he's worshiping or just Bendy in general. It's an ode to Bendy. I don't think anyone who would be working on the cartoon or working in the studio would be making that like before all of this happened. So this next song is one of those, Alyssa, why are you analyzing this one? It's obvious, but it's important. It's an important song. It's called Machine Revealed, and it's of course when Henry reveals the ink machine.
Let's see what you're hiding down there, old friend.
It's super eerie. Again, there's a lot of violins, like theMeatly uses a lot of violins and piano in a lot of the music, and it's really dramatic. Like, dun dun dun, this is really important. It's the ink machine. That's why it's in the title. You should definitely like acknowledge that this thing is here. Let's skip ahead to a little bit towards the end of the chapter when you have to put power for the machine. So you go into that projector showroom, and the projector turns on and it plays the next song, which is called the Bendy cartoon music. It's just a simple whistling. It's just whistling. It's super simple. It's scary. You can also hear this music during chapter 2. If you walk backwards across the pool of ink that Bendy's supposed to spawn from, he won't spawn, and you can get to the door and you'll hear gears kind of turning and you'll hear this whistling. You can also hear the same exact whistling at the end of the game when you're in Joey Drew's apartment and he's whistling it. And it wasn't confirmed what this whistling was until way after the game was released, when they started releasing the Bendy cartoons on the Joey Drew Studios YouTube channel. Because this song is Bendy's like themes music. Like Merry Melodies has the like this is Bendy's like intro music to every cartoon. The next song that we hear in chapter 1 is a song that we'll be hearing pretty much for the entire game, which is Little Devil Darling. It's Ink Bendy's theme song every time he sees you and chases you. It's super intense, very heart-racing, like immediately makes you jump because you know Bendy's near. I'm going to acknowledge this because it's really interesting because before the chapter 4 release and update to all the rest of the chapters, Little Devil Darling sounded slightly different. It didn't sound as booming as it does right now. Right now there's a lot more orchestra to it, and there's also this weird mystical sounding element to it. I don't know how to describe it. There's like this one part that sounds unearthly to the rest of the orchestra. The reason why this song is called Little Devil Darling is probably because it's in reference to one of the Bendy cartoons of the same name. It's one of the first few cartoons that probably existed because there's just posters of it all over the studio. It's the one with the hand. It's like really iconic. The ironic part of it that it's being played for this ink demon is that it's not little and it's not darling. It's scary. And then finally, the last song in chapter 1 is called Down Where the Monsters Live. And this is right after Henry falls all those flights and lands in a pool of ink very deep down in the studio. This music is scary. It's very uneasy, as I said before, a lot of this music is. It definitely proves that we are deep in this studio and we're gonna get even deeper and it's gonna get a lot darker, a lot scarier, and a lot more inkier from here on out for the rest of the game. And of course the title means that we're gonna meet some monsters and it's gonna be completely different from what we saw upstairs. So that was chapter 1. That was a lot of songs, right? Just for chapter 1. A lot of them had a lot of meaning because they were originally made for this game. They were made before the game was even made. Now chapter 2, like I said, that I'm putting it in this video is because there's only 3 songs in chapter 2 that are played. So the first song that we hear in chapter 2 is The Searchers, which is obviously when we first encounter the ink blobby monsters known as the Searchers. There's trumpets and violins, and it's very creepy, and it kind of matches the beat of how the Searchers move when they like start crawling towards Henry. It also confirms that this is the name of the ink monsters as the Searchers, but what is a Searcher? What is it? What are they? Well, we know that they were probably people that are just stuck in this limbo stage in the ink. Like that's it, but like what do? They just like wander around and hop out of puddles to attack Henry and drag him into the ink, but like Sammy sort of commands them in chapter 2, and then Bendy I guess commands them for the rest of the game. I'm not quite sure, but what are they searching for? Are they searching for a way to get out? Are they just searching for Henry in general? The next song that we hear is immediately right after we beat all the Searchers the first time, and it's called Sammy Jam, and it starts playing from the phonograph in the lobby of the music department. It's very jazzy, makes you like toe tapping, finger wagging, as they said back then when this music was supposed to be made. It starts off really slow and then it like kind of increases in pace after there's like a weird record break, and then at the end the record kind of like skips a little bit and just like kind of, yeah, it's like an old record. It's like a broken record. I couldn't think of the phrase. This music was probably placed by Sammy and definitely just toying with Henry, trying to get him to walk around, discover new things before he tries to sacrifice him to the Ink Demon. And the last song in chapter 2, see, only 3 songs, is Sammy Revealed. That's the title. And this is right when Sammy knocks us out and then ties us up.
Rest your head. It's time for bed. There we go now, nice and tight. We wouldn't want our sheep roaming away now, would we? No, we wouldn't. I must admit, I am honored you came all the way down here to visit me. It almost makes what I'm about to do seem cruel.
It's eerie sounding and there's like little echoes as Henry is like pulsing in and out of consciousness, and then like as he slowly wakes up to find Sammy tied him up and he's like monologuing about how he needs to honor his savior. The thing about this music is that it only plays like right when he knocks us out and then a couple seconds into us waking up and him starting to talk to us. I think another thing that we need to think about with this song and how it's just like, it sounds really eerie, is because we, the player, are first encountering a humanoid figure that is talking to us for the first time in this entire game. We've only encountered ink monsters, but now there's something in front of us that is moving and talking and it's coherent, and we're like, what is happening right now? And then we start figuring it out. Wait a minute, this is Sammy Lawrence. We saw his name on the board as the music director. We heard a couple of his tapes, and this is the guy that was a human and is now an ink monster. And he's also worshiping the god, which is Bendy. So yeah, there's my analysis for chapter 1 and chapter 2. I'm so sorry this video is really long, but I wanted to dive deep into what I think these songs are about and what their titles actually mean and how it really plays into the lore of Bendy and the Ink Machine. And hopefully in Bendy and the Dark Revival we'll have new music to really look into and figure out maybe if that will help us know what's really going on in this game. You're awesome, I'm awesome, and thank you so much for watching this video. And if you want, you can subscribe to find out when I post more videos, just whenever I really want to. If you want to follow me on my social media, my links are in the description bar below. Like this video if you like Bendy and the Ink Machine, of course, and leave a comment below with your favorite chapter 1 or chapter 2 song. I like sketches, because it's so creepy. It sets the tone. I love it. And I'll see you guys in the next video, okay? Bye. Woo!